And now we're back to the table. Chris Maduka joins us. Good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, Charles. I was concentrating on getting the things that you're saying. Did you say that our president is shopping for replacement of Yakubu?
Of course.
You remember that statement in the Bible? Where the voice came, who shall I send? Okay, who shall I send? Who go for us? And now that our president is calling for who shall I send and who go for us? And now for myself, I say, here I am, send me. Or you think I'm not qualified to be Nigerian Inec chairman?
You are eminently. I mean, you are, but I'm just thinking, but his tenure is going to be finishing by this year end.
Why are you talking about tenure? Do you talk about tenure? What happened to the tenure of Fubara in River State? He's on suspension. What happened to the tenure of the River State House of Assembly? And like you said, the chicken just put them out. And people are shouting, chicken put them out. The chicken put 2 legs. They're just saying, what? Is it constitutional, not constitutional? Is it right or wrong? And all the political appointees are sacked. And that's the beginning. If you check all the factors that make up our life, you have politics, you have religion, you have education. So sack all the political appointees. The next thing is sack all the religious appointees. The next thing, sack all the economic appointees. The next, you sack all the educational appointees. You will sack until they sack Nigeria. The process has started. The National Assembly, in their distinguishedness, approved sack and suspension. So why are you talking about if somebody is shopping for who he appointed and you are saying tenor? Who told you about tenor in Nigeria? In fact, Charles, there's no tenor, I sack you. So we go to court. That's Nigeria. So it sounds funny, but honestly, if they are sacking, and you know, in Nigeria with this unemployment, hardship and hunger, everybody's waiting for who will be suspended to take over. And the way it is, it's just sack one person. The person is like, offer himself willing like I've offered now. They are shopping for the new, that's the headline. And that newspaper, they are shopping. And I offer myself, I say, here I am, send me. If you don't send me, you still send somebody. So you better send me. 91 groups are seeking for Inec registration as coalition.
Yeah.
And you believe them? Out of this 91, what if 90 of them are stooges planted by the people who never want that? Because it's only a tree that we know, we just hear very well that it's going to be killed or cut down. And it still stands. The sitting government and the power they control and the way they control it is sweet. Honestly, Charles, I'm not in the government, but I know that when I look around, I jealous some of them. You know, all the paraphernalia of government and offices in Nigeria, it's very attractive.
Do you think there must be, or there should be some sort of legislation about the amount of political parties that we should have? Because it was cut down to like 17 or so in the last election. And there's a little bit of sanity. So even, because when you go to the...
They are saying coalition. The groups will come and still form. Coalition will be 91 can come down under 2 or 3. So everybody has said we're going to have
91 political parties.
Proliferation, and then like every Nigerian, 240 million Nigerians, everybody is a party on his own. You know? So when we have 240 million parties in Nigeria, and by the way, who are you to regulate it?
Why not regulate it?
Who is regulating what? In Nigeria, for instance, if you are sitting government, and then you hear that me and all the people working in this studio want to form coalition, all of us that were not happy with your government, and it's you that will regulate and say, oh no, don't collide to take me away. So, where are the human rights? It's a complex issue. We don't have that maturity, because once you introduce that, it is a suspension. When you hear 91 groups are seeking INEC registration on coalition, suspended. The word has entered, suspension, suspended this. Now, so you would, there was that time that the impeachment, one comedian, somebody, Abu, was played the music, he was doing mocking Nigerians and saying, impeach, impeach, impeach. That was the whole thing he hears then. Now, what you begin to hear now is suspend, suspend, suspend. And let me tell you, some people will begin to test waters. Very soon you hear the governors suspended. You hear local government chairman suspended. You even go to the house, you see the head of the house suspended, or the wife. I saw a cartoon where the wife said, I'm suspended from here down. No go area. In fact, I've appointed a sole administrator to further notice for 6 months. And the man of the house was like, Nigerians can be so creative. It was a video, this kids. But then, do you want me to pretend I didn't see or watch it? Nigerians are good at, okay, if you come out boldly to talk about it, so they're using skits to convey their feelings. And nobody is talking about it. Nobody. So Ibas sack all political appointees in Rivers. Political appointees. So let's wait for the next appointees to be sacked. Because there is not only politics that makes up a River State. There are so many sections of River State that should need to be sacked. And by the time they finish sacking River State, the nearest state is Abia, because it's bounded the other side by the ocean. So I'm afraid Abia should watch it before the extension of sack and suspension enters that. Then Inec is suddenly becoming too active. Honestly, I'm impressed. Honestly. So why shopping for? Why shopping for a new chairman of Inec when they have just woken up? They've just notified Natasha that you have been you are on your way out. Your people have said you were going to recall you, and they quickly did that. They quickly accepted the petition. They've noticed the loopholes in the petition we were talking about yesterday. It still sounds like, and like me, I always say, anything that emanates from this country now, I pick it with a pinch of salt. When I saw that coming, and it was like we are reviewing it, I said, let me not review more than the newspaper said. But I knew they were just trying to, do like Idi Amin. Idi Amin would not want to feel, he will, even if it means go to the borders, kill some of our men, tell them that Nyerere attacks us first. So you first start. But if you know that you are still going to accept and inform Natasha, you first say, there is a loophole in the petition so that people will give you attention. Then you don't tell Natasha, yes, we have accepted your petition. They've amended. What is it all about? So I'm happy. The president shouldn't look for a new INEC chairman. They have suddenly woken up and they are active. Within 1 week or two, we have perfected the recall process for a sitting, suspended, or do I say what? Suspension is the word now. It's trending. If suspension is a human being, it's trending. Suspension 6 months in a National Assembly, Senate, the distinguished, the red chambers. Suspension in River State, the state that lays the golden egg. Suspension, and the 6 months has become our time of reference. Measuring point. When they suspend you for 6 months, Charles, if I suspend you from where you're sitting now for 6 months, you come back here, you won't even remember Signature TV. They will tell you what is the name of that TV, where you want to talk. You say, I used to work here. So that's about it. Tribune said, move to stop VP and governor deputies and, move to stop their immunity. And suddenly another newspaper has shouted, what is good for the geese is good for the gander. That's politics for you. That's the democracy. But in a country where suddenly you find out, that if people wake up, you give them back value 5. Or you can double it, make it value 20. If anybody shake head in Nigeria, give them value 5. I read somewhere, unofficially, it's not part of our reviewing. But then the VP should be stripped of all immunity. All the deputies, the governors, only me, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, should maintain all my immunities. All the ministers, but every other person. When we are small, there's this song they need to sing. Onye kulo tebu to omia, samu beze, gangwaton, wow. So, if you stand up or shake head, your immunity will be removed.
Well, the idea is the corruption angle of it. Because, I mean, how do you wait until somebody else's tenure finishes before you start investigating them? In Israel, the prime minister doesn't have an
Immunity that you're talking about.
Yes, and in some other countries, you see Netanyahu go from office to the court to answer for cases of corruption and cases of.
Charles, why? That's what I'm saying.
So I'm thinking,
if you want to cut people's hair, cut everybody's hair at the same time. Why cut only VP and deputies and all governors? All people in government. Immunity, so discuss it in National Assembly, pass it as law, so everybody will know that you are vulnerable. When you misfire, you go and answer. So why separate Paul from Barnabas? That is my angle, Charles. I do not say I never loved anybody to have immunity because it's making us not to even think. And some of them do not think; they just sit down there with immunity, sitting on immunity, and by the time they perfect their position of inactivity on immunity, they already bought houses in London and the US and the Japan. You don't even see them. You see the cases of people who were stopped at the airport. They left office in this morning after ceremony of handover. In the evening, EFCC, was it not in Nigerian history? You want me to remind you? So, this case of immunity is good. We are saying, let it go round. So that people will see your objectivity because you will use yourself as an example. And people will see, the president said, I do not have immunity, sue me to court, I'll come and answer.
No, but the president is not the one pushing for the motion. It's actually a House of Reps. It's a motion that is emanating from the House of Reps.
And then let it be executive bill. Let the House of, you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? If it's not, if you come back as my senator and say you are earning 29 million every month, and hunger is asking me and I can't even see you, I'll sue you to court. But I cannot. So why are they the people who will decide immunity, who immunity will catch? So that's the stupidity of it I see, selfishness that I see in it. And that's it. That's my opinion of it. It is totally unacceptable. If you want immunity to be removed, let it go right. They will even see. I'll keep using this as an example. Some people say I use myself to test the juju I make. To tell you that if you finish, you will test it. I say it doesn't kill. So why are they wanting to use other people as guinea pig for the law they want to pass? Don't tell you. The juju, you don't want to be made to work. It's the one you request for unrequestable. You tell your client, go and bring me the intestine of a housefly to make juju. The person will be on a wild goose chase where he's looking for a housefly. Just go catch housefly and stein it. Before you dissect it to bring out the intestine, the juju process is over. I hear not what they're saying. So they will raise this, everybody will face it now. It's like these people are working. Put the immunity on everybody. And then we will support the goal. Then, honor for Humphrey Mosu Tribune fails.
And the Senate.
And the Nigerians are in their clear conscience. And people we sent to the National Assembly sat down and somebody moved that Humphrey Mosu should be honored. Are all bet posthumous. And he fails. Charles, you know how I explain it? I've always said you're a slave. You attended a fellow slave burial. You saw how their slave is buried. You went for your own. All of them at National Assembly will get posthumous honors. It won't be denied to them. I wish they hasten it up because only when you die you get posthumous honor. So now that they failed for Humphrey Mosu, their own should come fast. So we're still giving them honor. Every street in Abuja, every university in Nigeria, they take it. I mean, because if you don't give it to somebody who is you take it. So if they didn't give it to Humphrey Mosu, and they should give it to somebody. There are so many people in Nigeria who are just receiving honors, and they receive it Only Humphrey Mosu deserve not to get honor. Even this week that is going to join, his remains will be committed to Mother Earth. He fails. They say he should resubmit. That the Aparibe should resubmit that proposition for the honoring. You know what? There are clear evidences that when people are taking decisions in Nigeria and you are giving room for people to feel that something is wrong. That's what. Otherwise, I mean, they must have justified it. There's nothing you do in National Assembly you can justify. They see it clear. But are they in tune? Because these are people who are supposed to have constituency offices. Suddenly, they don't have constituency offices. They're not in tune. Because some of them can't even go to their villages. The high level of insecurity. So they stay off in Abuja and just concoct bills and go there and decide themselves, and they look at their faces as if they're the people coming for bill. If you look at the constituency that the person submitting the bill is representing, and the region, and all the people involved, and Nigeria, because what Humphrey Mosu did, if you ever in the history of Nigeria, writing the history of democracy, of people who fought for it to stand, what he did, and the people are trying to wish it away, it will be an open wound, which was Madam Fodio of respected caliber has put it. I know of a newspaper in Nigeria, every day you pick the newspaper, you say, Osman Davoro, truth, his own is an open wound. Conscience is an open wound. So deny him. When it's your turn, you get it. That's what happened in Nigeria. Some pensioners are crying. When they were in office, they deny people pension. It goes around. It goes around. Some of them even were part of eating people who died, the blood money. And when it's their time, they are crying. Whatever goes up must come down. That's a natural law. Whatever, the way you treat everybody, the measure you use to measure for, if it's this kind of, the same thing they will use to measure for you. Whatever any man sow, he will reap. If not now, hereafter. Some of them think, my only concern is that some of them will sow, they wait for their generations to reap. After all, IBB is coming back to, after 35 years or 32 years, to write his book. And then, you know, some people will still clear those mess. And they think it's an open wound as he's waiting for Nigeria. Some people now, and that's now JSA, are contributing money. How are you going to assuage the people who that book opened their wounds? And that's the nation you are thinking about one Nigeria unity. You open more wounds and you're not thinking about how to solve them as Reggie. God bless Nigeria. Ethical behavior of lawyers. Complaints severally. Everybody is complaining about ethical behavior. Charles, didn't I tell you here one time that every generation or group of people will get what they want? Is Nigeria different from the lawyers they have? And this particular time in Nigeria, this era of Nigeria, is the time where money for hand, back for ground. In all situations, nobody cares. You don't expect lawyers. And I've told you, a system where politicians will amass money. And it became obvious, they're looking for who will tell them there's corrupt money they have. And a lawyer is sitting somewhere, he doesn't have 1 billion naira or 5 million. A politician of the same, nothing is a president, it's just that one is politician, one is a lawyer, maintains an account of 500 billion in his account. And the same politician will come and meet this lawyer who is hungry. And they want the lawyer to be, it's what we want, we get. You use fake dollar to do Christmas, celebrate Christmas or Easter. Easter is coming. Charles, I know you're a very cunning person. You can use fake dollar to celebrate Easter for your mother-in-law. It's something you give, now you go take. Why are we calling lawyers? Nigerians are, fantastically. It came from our colonial masters at the Queen's office. I don't forget that word. Where they introduced Nigeria as fantastically corrupt country. Nigeria, they've not proven otherwise. We keep getting more fantastically fantastic. So why singling out lawyers? When it is same environment, consciousness will make lawyers to lose their ethics. Who among Nigerians hold ethics? Point one person out. In the Bible, Jesus, he said when they want to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, They say, just show us 5 persons in a population of, I don't know the population of Sodom and Gomorrah there, but I know they're not, they may be up to 5 million. They say in a population of 5 million in Sodom and Gomorrah, just 1 person or 5 persons, so that God will not destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. They run around. They even want to go to the grave to bring the dead ones to see whether they find saints among them. Nobody. And Sodom and Gomorrah went. When God wants to visit Nigeria, God will apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah. And I think it's already happening. What are we giving out that we're not taking back? What are we giving out that we're not taking back? Nothing.
Absolutely.
So,
Chris, we have to leave it there because of time. I want to say a very big thank you to you for your insights on today's edition of the Newspaper Headlines and Reviews.
Thank you, Charles.
Signature TV. News in your pocket.